Karkat nervously backed up into the large rock, holding his sickle out. Terror spread through him as he thought of everything that had happened today. It was pitch black. Karkat stared off into the darkness and waited. He was coming. He wasn't ready for this. He would have never been ready for this. Something dripped in front of him. Purple. Oh no, Karkat said, shivering. Sheer horror spread through him, and he couldn't look up. Welcome to the Dark Carnival, bro! Earlier that day, the group of trolls arrived on the large asteroid in the Veil after their world was destroyed. Gamzee was lost, and they feared that he was slain by the demon. They stared at the huge base/house on the rock and the cliffs and caves everywhere. It was very dark at the moment. That adds on to the ambience. I don't like this, Nepeta whined. It's too dark, and I'm starting to get scared. No, shut up, Karkat barked. We'll find him in no time. Karkat didn't actually know if Gamzee was even on this rock. He could have been sucked into a whole other universe for all he knew. I miss Gamzee, Tavros said, looking down in sorrow. Oh, shut up, Tavros. Stop whining and try to find him. Do something useless, you piece of crap. Vriska screamed at Tavros, scowling at him. Okay, so let's actually do something and stop arguing, Terezi said, taking charge. I think 4 of us should search the outside, and 7 should search the huge base. I'll be one of the inside people. Oh, what? That's Equius. I'll be one of the inside people, and so will Nepeta, Equius volunteered. Why do you always take charge of my life? Maybe I want to search the outside, Nepeta exploded at Equius. It doesn't matter, Karkat said. I'll take outside. Aradia, Vriska, and I will too, Solix volunteered. Wait, I need to say it with a lisp. Aradia, Vriska, and I will too, Solix volunteered. Aradia nodded in agreement. Fine, I guess I will, Vriska said, shambling off into the dark wilderness. That leaves Equius, Eridan, Pfeffery, Kanaya, Nepeta, Terezi, and Tavros for the inside, Karkat explained. The inside group all went inside. So, I can't do a lisp. So, how are we going to search? It sounds like a snake! So how are we going to search? Are we going to split up or stay together? Solix asked. Considering Vriska is already half a mile away, and Considering Vriska is already half a mile away, I say we just split up. I'll go that way, Karkat explained, pointing in a random direction. You idiots! You do not split up, you... God! They all went in separate directions. They all had computers, just in case, because you definitely want to carry your computer into a forest so that you can just pester someone. Come with me, Nepeta, Equius commanded. No, oh my gosh, Equius, just leave me alone, Nepeta screamed, storming off. What's her problem? Eridan asked in a rude tone. Terezi shot him a glare. What? He asked. Kanaya, follow her, Terezi commanded. Kanaya nodded and ran off after Nepeta. We should split up into groups. Pfeffery and Eridan, you go that way. Equius and Tavros follow Kanaya. I'll go this way, Terezi instructed. They all went off into where they were instructed to go. Eridan walked alongside Pfeffery. Why don't we just ditch this place and go to a different rock? Eridan suggested. No, Eridan, Gamzee was my friend. Unlike you, I actually like the land dwellers, Pfeffery said, enraged. God, I was just making a suggestion, Eridan replied. Well, it wasn't a... Pfeffery turned to see Eridan was nowhere to be found. Solix walked along a huge cliff, looking down at where Aradia was walking along a huge pile of rocks. Smack! Solix crashed into a tree! Ouch, he whined, getting up. He looked back down. Arati was gone. That's weird, Solix thought to himself. He got up and started walking along his path, this time paying attention so he would run into anything. This is the best typo. So he would run into anything. What is this? He thought to himself as he came upon weird markings. They were made of something green. He knelt down and touched it. It wasn't blood. He could tell by the texture. It felt like the slime that they sleep in. Oh no. Oh no. Gamzee, are you there? Solix asked, standing up. I think I found one of your pies. He looked back down at the markings. Or I found something weird, he said to himself. He pulled out his laptop to message Aradia. Aradia, are you there? Solix typed. There was no answer. He looked back over the edge. She still wasn't there, and there was no sign of a broken computer. Next he tried Karkat. Karkat, please be there, he typed. What? Karkat responded. Oh, thank Jesus you're there! I can't find Aradia on her laptop, and there are weird markings made with slime everywhere, Solix explained. Is there any sign of Gamzee? Karkat asked. Hello, Solix, are you there? There was no response. Holy crap, Karkat thought. He picked up his laptop and ran inside the base. What is out there? Oh no, Gamzee is lost, he thought. Karkat ran into a rock and instantly blacked out. Jesus Christ! God, I didn't know trolls were such idiots. Alright, moving on to Chapter 2. Nepeta walked along the wide hallway looking down at the ground. I can't believe him. Ugh, he always tries to control me. What is wrong with him? She thought to herself. Nepeta rammed into a cold... Why is everyone running into something? First it was Solix with a tree, then Karkat with a rock, and then Nepeta with a metal wall. She looked up to see it was a three-way intersection. She went right. Because that sounds like the right direction. Then she continued to rage about Equius in her head. She looked up to see a familiar form in a small room. It was a clowny troll sitting in a corner with his back turned to her. Ugh. Gamzee, is that you? She asked. Gamzee! She ran at him and then jumped to hug him. Gamzee spun around in half a second and put a firm hand on Nepeta's throat. Gamzee! What are you doing? Gamzee's grasp tightened. Nepeta started struggling to get out of it. Please, she said, starting to panic. Stop it! She started screaming and Gamzee's grip became tighter. Stop, Gamzee! She couldn't breathe anymore and wasn't able to speak. She began to squirm around trying to break loose. Gamzee's grip tightened and tightened until olive green blood poured down his arm. Ugh! Well, rest in peace, Nepeta. Guinea pigs, stop making noises. God. Alright. Kanaya walked down a wide hallway. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce Kanaya or Kanaya? I don't know. She looked around. She was put on a quest to find Nepeta by Terezi and was determined to do it. She heard a noise. Whoa, that's so unheard of. Who is there? She asked, instantly whipping out her chainsaw and revving it. She scanned the area, nothing. The noise started to get closer. Well, maybe that noise you're hearing is your chainsaw, because that sounds like a sensible answer. It was like someone climbing on pipes. She crouched down and held her chainsaw to the noise. How? Okay. It started going over her. She looked up to see that the roof was so high it just became black. The noise passed over her and went away. She cautiously got up and started walking again. She stopped at the three-way intersection and went left. Are you kidding me? The same thing! Okay. Okay. Well, maybe she's not screwed because Nepeta went right. Terezi walked along the hall, going into random doors and investigating. She flung open a door. There seemed to be nothing inside. Just for fun, she decided to get a closer look. Why? She smelled a vast variety of colors. There was one that stood out the most. Pink. She sniffed around and found a pink stuffed dragon. She role-played with it until she finally sliced off its head with her cane. She felt a vibration in her pouch. Someone was messaging her. She opened it up. Okay. The word smelled like blueberry. It was most likely Vriska. She began to read her first comment, or lick the words out of it. It started off, Terezi, Terezi! Oh, Gigas, get out! And then her computer started to glitch up. It kept turning on and off, and it made it to where she couldn't read it. Oh well, it probably isn't that important. She left the room and continued down the hall. Karkat woke up from his blackout. He still couldn't see anything while his eyes were adjusting to the pitch-black setting. He rolled over and got to his knees. The whole area was blurry. Something was dripping on him. He rolled over on his back to see what it was. He rubbed his eyes so he could focus better. Holy crap, what happened? He said, Oh, I need to make this more dramatic. Holy crap, what happened? He said, screaming at Vriska's disembodied head that was hanging from the branch of a tree above him. Oh, jeez, Gamzee's lost it. Alright, I love how you just automatically assume it's Gamzee because he's the one that's, like, lost and found and stuff. I mean, honestly, all of us Homestuck readers know what happens, but still, he got on his knees and started crying. What? We're all going to be slaughtered, he cried. A twig snapped in the trees next to him. He jumped up and flipped out his sickle. Get away from me, Karkat half cried, half screamed at whatever was there. Why so down, KK? Solix said, jumping down from the tree. Karkat fell to his knees and pointed at Vriska's head. Solix stared at the disembodied head hanging from a long tree branch. Light blue blood would drip every once in a while in a big clotted glob. She had obviously been dead for a long time. How long of a time? More like 5 minutes? Because apparently, Terezi was talking to her? But maybe that was like 2 weeks ago or something. I don't know. These trolls' time is really screwed up. Alright, where was I? Written along the branch in her blood was Gamzee's signature smiley face and honk. Who did this? Solix asked. He knew exactly who did this, and he also knew that he would most likely kill everyone on this rock. How would you know that, though? I mean, seriously, just because Gamzee's, like, the highest character, and just because Gamzee's a little weird, doesn't mean he's a murderer, but in this case it does, but it doesn't mean he's a suspect. Solix looked down. Both Arati and Pfeffery were likely dead if Gamzee had come across them. Well, maybe everyone is dead whenever Gamzee comes across them, huh? They don't deserve to die. They have done nothing wrong. His sorrow turned to rage. Let's find this guy and kill him, Solix commanded, staring at Vriska's head. Who exactly are we looking for? Karkat asked the dumbest question possible. Who in the world would have done this except Gamzee? Oh, I don't know. Maybe Equius, or maybe Aridin, or maybe it was, just maybe it could have been Terezi. But no, of course you just automatically suspect Gamzee because he's the one that everyone suspects. What great friends Gamzee has. Okay. Who in the world would have done this except Gamzee? He had lost it, and now they were all going to die. You know who, Solix scowled at Karkat. Don't act like an idiot. Karkat nodded, and the two began walking. Solix used his mind power to take off the rope hanging Vriska's head and put her head on the ground. Why? Just so someone can walk along and trip on Vriska's head. They walked along the path looking out for Gamzee. Pfeffery checked a room for Aridin, but he was nowhere to be found. Where could he have gone, she thought. He had vanished into thin air. Now I'm developing a list right whenever I don't need it. The search was exciting, but this base was super creepy. It was dark everywhere and just had bad vibes all around it. If Gamzee was anywhere, he wouldn't be here, she thought to herself. Pfeffery heard footsteps, which scared the heck out of her. Pfeffery ran into a dark room and hid. Why? Why would you go into a dark room? She watched the door. The footsteps were getting closer. They were soft, yet they had a scent of hate. Okay, so now you're going all Terezi over here and you're sniffing things. They came closer. Tap, tap, tap. Pfeffery watched, scared to death at the doorway. Something wasn't right. It just seemed weird. Ah! Pfeffery shrieked as Aridin appeared in the doorway. Ah! She looked at Aridin and instantly became enraged. Aridin, where were you? She screamed at the confused boy. I was scared to death, and this setting just makes it 10 times worse. She ranted on and on at Aridin, who was starting to get mad. I don't care, he yelled, shocking Pfeffery. I'm here, aren't I? Pfeffery looked at him. She started calming down. Well, yeah, I guess, she said, looking down. So come on, Aridin said. We have a clown to find. Tavros walked along next to Equius, who was sweating like a dog. He couldn't take the fact that he didn't know where Nepeta was, and if she was safe or not. She's dead. He wanted to protect her, but she never listens. Yeah, maybe that's because you're a huge jerk, and you should die. She's going to get killed someday if she doesn't start obeying. They came up to it. Are you kidding me? Ugh. Well, I guess I'll take the right, Equius said. Tavros looked at Equius as if he were insane. He is insane because he's going to the right just so he can see Nepeta's dead body before he dies. Wait, what? We can't split up. What if something goes wrong? My legs could stop working. Something could attack me. I will die if you leave me. Tavros pleaded for Equius not to leave him. Equius started to go right. Take the left, Tavros. He quickly disappeared into the dark hallway. Tavros sat there all alone, staring off into the darkness. He knew something would go wrong. Well, then maybe you should get out of there! There was something about this place. It scared him. He started to go left very quickly. Hopefully Kanaya or Nepeta had gone this way. No! He needed some company and, more importantly, someone to protect him. He was like a cripple in a sea of stairs. Vulnerable. Well, that was chapter 2. Moving on to chapter 3. Solix listened as hard as he could. Did you hear that? He asked Karkat. Hear what? Karkat replied. Just listen, Solix said, concentrating harder. He heard voices. They were scared. Not like dying scared, but alone scared. He instantly recognized it as a Radia. He darted off into the direction of the voice. Why would you do that, you idiot? Yeah, I understand Aradia is like your girlfriend or whatever. Just why, though? What the heck are you doing? Get back here, Karkat screamed while barely being able to keep pace with Solix. Thank you, Karkat. You're being smart in this situation. Solix found Aradia. She was scared to death with a huge bruise on her forehead. She kept mumbling to herself. Don't tell me she's insane too, Karkat screamed. Solix slowly walked up to Aradia, who looked up at him. Rusty tears were flowing down her face. Within a second, she was up and hugging Solix. He was surprised by the sudden embrace, but he decided to just hug her back. Oh, I ship it! What happened to you? Solix asked, breaking the embrace. Aradia looked straight at Solix. That's why I'm so scared. I don't know what happened. I was just walking along when I blacked out! She was clearly traumatized. Why is everyone just suddenly walking along and then they either run into something and or black out? Karkat looked at Aradia. He didn't know why she was so traumatized. Maybe because this fanfic sucks and I'm being traumatized. Hadn't Solix gone through the same thing when he wasn't answering his computer? Karkat had seen the hanging head of his friend and wasn't traumatized because he's He's a sociopath! It's probably the answers, he thought to himself. He was right. He had answers. He knew it was all Gamzee, and so did Solix. And how did you come to this very educated conclusion? It was Gamzee. He's flipped, Karkat blurted out. Aradia looked over at Karkat. Really? So he's gone insane? Aradia asked Karkat. Karkat nodded yes. He looked around at his dark surrounding. And this is the perfect place for him to kill us all, Karkat said, freaking out Aradia even more. Stop it, Karkat. We need Aradia to calm down, Solix commanded. Karkat shut right up. Karkat continued to look all around while Solix tried calming down Aradia. She was calming down a little, but was still pretty scared. When she was stable again, she started asking a ton of questions. So, who has died? She asked. We found Vriska's head, but other than that, there's no one we know of. Aradia looked down. She hated Vriska, but at the same time, she never wanted her to die. Why did he go insane? She asked, trying to stop herself from crying. We're not sure, really, Solix replied, now wondering what actually did flip Gamzee's sanity switch. Karkat heard something in the bushes behind him. Oh, crap! Time to cut it short. Something's coming, Karkat said, slowly walking to Solix and Aradia while staring at the bush. Solix stood up and readied himself. Karkat drew his sickle and both of them stood in front of Aradia to protect her from greater trauma. Karkat looked at Solix and nodded, who nodded back. They knew they were going to die. Gamzee was too powerful for any of them. The wrestling started again. A rabbit came out. Oh, come on! Karkat screamed, putting his sickle down. Ah. Solix stared at the rabbit. He was sure that was Gamzee. What? I don't understand? Gamzee swung his club and instantly knocked out Aradia. I don't understand. What? Am I just being stupid here? Solix heard a crack and spun around. He had barely any time to think before Gamzee had already pounded his club against Solix's skull. Oh, crap! Karkat ran back and spun around. Gamzee was standing over Solix, ready to swing his bat again and smash Solix's face in. Karkat noticed that Solix and Aradia were still breathing. Hey, stupid clown, he yelled at Gamzee and started flailing around. You idiot! Come and get me! He started jogging back, trying to get Gamzee away from Solix and Aradia. He threw a rock. It collided with Gamzee in a large thud that flung Gamzee's head back. Slowly, Gamzee brought his head back and started smiling at Karkat. Okay. Hey, best friend, he said, sneering. Deep purple blood leaked out of where the rock had left a large gash in his forehead. He slowly started walking towards Karkat. Want to play with me, best bro? Let's play, Karkat challenged and instantly sprinted away as fast as he could. Good thinking! He could hear Gamzee behind him. He was faster than Karkat. Karkat knew he was probably dead, but he was giving Solix and Aradia a chance to get the heck off the rock. Well, how can they if they're, like, unconscious because Gamzee, tried to kill them? Karkat looked behind him. Gamzee was gone. Oh, crap. Karkat skidded to a stop. He started frantically looking around. He was in a dark forest. The whole rock was dark anyway. He could barely see 5 feet in front of him. Gamzee could be anywhere. He started walking very slowly. Shadows crept up on him as he would walk past trees. Darkness would laugh as he twitched to see what was behind him. The silence was deadly. Is it as deadly as Gamzee? It kept on getting darker and darker. The silence was turning into noise. Noise was everywhere, but it was never actually there. Because that makes absolute sense. Karkat's eyes shot from side to side. Every once in a while, he would quickly spin around to the snap of a twig. Gamzee was playing with him, just like he had promised. Hey, bro! Karkat spun around at the voice and... Oh, that was Gamzee speaking. Hey, bro. That sounded no different. Hey, bro. Karkat spun around at the voice and sliced at what wasn't there. He started running from what wasn't there, but also was there. This writing is killing me. Not because it has bad grammar, but just because it's so choppy and, annoying. Get away from me, he pleaded as he sprinted within the trees. Why, bro? We're just playing. The voice seemed to come from everywhere. Karkat screamed. He screamed for someone to save him, and out of pure terror, honks started coming from everywhere. Karkat had no idea where he was running. Really, he didn't even care, as long as it was away from Gamzee. He ran into an area that was surrounded by rocks. Oh no, he said, looking around. I'm gonna black out again because I run into a rock! There was no exits but one, and Gamzee was no doubt coming from that direction. Karkat nervously backed into the large rock and blacked out, holding his sickle out. Terror spread through him as he thought of everything that had happened today. It was pitch black. Karkat stared off into the darkness and waited. He was coming. He wasn't ready for this. He would have never been ready for this. Something dripped in front of him. Purple. Oh my god, I hate this.